So before I screw the back panel back on, we got to make sure we check a couple of things. This was a very simple thing to diagnose and a very simple problem. What happened was you could see this down support vent from the refrigerator. That entire thing was full of ice and the fan was frozen. So it burned a bearing in the fan, I'm guessing, because the fan was still able to spin once I got it kicked over. So the two things that I had to do were, one, make sure which direction the plug was making the motor drive. So you want to make sure that the motor drive is propelling the fan upwards into the refrigerator, and I can feel that right here. It's a good blast of cold air going up there. The other thing is this temperature sensor, thermostat, whatever you want to call it, was off, and I noticed that when I went to put it back together, and possibly was causing the fridge to run more than it should have. A couple of bent fins in here, so I straightened those up best I could. Took the ice maker out, simple unplug, and then 3 screws on the wall. So I'll be putting that back in. Make sure you take the ice maker out, because the last thing you want is this thing pumping water. I didn't even unplug this fridge when I was doing this. It just went so quick. So I'm going to put the back wall back on right now, and this is the outside thermostat, so that'll plug back in, clip into the wall, and the ice maker will go back in position. And like I said, we're blowing cold air right now, so hopefully we're going to put the vents back on, the deflectors back on, and we'll be done. So the only two things that are really any bit of a problem is putting this face back on, kind of wiggling around, making sure you don't press into the fan and mess that up, getting your thermal sensor back in place. But the water line, which you can see right through there, the white tube that sticks into the ice maker, you have to put your pinky through the backing plate into the water line and kind of wiggle it to get it to come back into place. So make sure you get that done. Don't put it all together and then try and pull it through. So that's pretty much it. We got good temperature so far. I'm going to close this thing back up, put the food back in, and hopefully we're in great shape. So hope this helps somebody. So we're 26 minutes after the repairs. Put the fridge back together. You can see the temperature's already down 10 degrees in here, and it's still dropping. So the fan's blowing. I can feel air coming out of the damper, which I didn't before. I've got the temperature turned down all the way to 7, and we're moving along here. So this is a Kenmore, not a lot of room in here, but a French door with the freezer on the bottom, and been a good fridge. I got this fridge, it wasn't cooling, and realized that it had chafed a line in the back on the condenser, on the compressor, and leaked out all the refrigerant. So I went and got a can R134, put a pair of splices in it with some brass couplers and Schrader valves, filled it up, takes temperature and holds it really well. This whole thing started, I believe, from leaving the door cracked open. It was like that and was not cooling the refrigerator. I believe the refrigerator warmed up and caused the frozen air coming up from the freezer to make an ice block, which I found on the actual fan down in there, and I believe that froze the fan solid and fried the bearings. So replaced that. The part was only $18 online. They wanted $100 and, well, $98 for it in town. So we ordered it online, got it replaced, and sounds like we're up and running. So hopefully this helps and somebody can save their estimated $600 repair bill. This is a pretty easy repair. I would say it's probably about a 3 on a 1 to 10, and pretty easy to diagnose since the fan was only turning when I would kick it and was not having enough power to spin when I was putting my finger pressure on it. And the repairman wanted $720 to go ahead and fix this for me. So again, 26 minutes worth of work, including diagnostic, and it's done. So good luck.